I really need to stop leaving my desk untidy. Okay, great. Wait, why isn't it going? Oh, must have pressed it too fast. Feels kind of weird coming back to this game again. Despite saying that I wasn't going to be attempting anything else. But, I guess when you say something in the moment that you don't really mean, that's just something you say. Did I notification? Yeah, I did do notification pinging my server. Ah, hi Sansi. Schizophrenia X is uploaded. Oh, you talk about the OST you sent in this morning. Sup tired, anti-zone. Man, this sure is a Deltarune. Indeed it is. So, here's what the premise of this is going to be. Right, so right now, I'm currently planning to do Chapter 2 or bosses. But there's a couple of things I'm going to do before I get to that. Number one, practice the living hell out of basement plus spam to Neo. Then, after that practice, see, I'm torn between doing Chapter 2 or bosses, or all chapters or bosses, or ACAB for short. The only gripe I have with doing ACAB is that it's 2 hours long. Whereas with Chapter 2 or bosses, I can get it much more easily. Because honestly, Chapter 1 is boring. So, after I finish this practice, I'm going to come to a decision as to whether or not I want to do Chapter 2 all bosses, or all chapters all bosses. So, let's begin. I don't know where this is going to spawn me. Oh, it's going to spawn me here. Yeah, thanks to Sansi, Gon, and Rise for the save files, by the way. I was just watching Rise's stream, if you didn't know. What does the sneak peek thing mean? You'll have to wait and see, won't you? So the reason why I'm practicing Teacups is because this is one of the most fast-paced muscle memory bits in the entire run. And it's more than halfway in. Like an hour and 30 minutes into the run. Best streamer 100%, truly the stream ever. Exactly, he'd be spitting facts. Right, so let me check my equipment. Ah, okay, I have best. Focus on the shadows. That's what I typically do when I play Teacups in normal Deltarune runs. Right, first try. Don't know how I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna get hit a couple of times. I'm probably even gonna die because it's been so long since I played this. So here goes nothing. Dude, that was fucking easy. Okay, now... Of course it doesn't end there. I'm gonna have to do Spam to Neo as well. Probably gonna die, no hits. Bruh, when has any challenge runner not ever had a moment where they said, oh, I'm gonna be so bad, and then suddenly the... Huh? Oh, you have to take this back, don't you, and get the inject Spamton into it. Okay, well, good time as any to practice this segment. So yeah, that teacup sequence is the same every time. So I don't have to worry about randomness there. All I have to worry about is nerves. Right, I don't remember where the door is. Is it in here? Yes, it is. Trash zone. Does that mean more teacups? Probably. Well, I'd have to be familiar with Spamton Neo first. Give disc. See, this is a new area for me to explore because I never normally casually do this. Which means I'm going to have to practice this lots of times. We did Spamton Basement once and never again. Oh, fair enough. I mean, everyone has their experiences. Chat overlay is very slow. Yeah, I need to get a new one. It keeps on delaying for some reason, and I don't know why. Yeah, I use Streamlabs OBS as well. As far as I'm aware, this fight with Spamton Neo is very similar to that in Snowgrave, except there's now 3 of you. Which basically means you can deal a lot of damage really quickly. Oh, sorry, XTL, you become a challenge runner now, and you blame me? Why? It's great you're becoming a challenge runner, just take it slow, okay? It's your first time playing. Just do little itty bitty shots with these small ones, and ooh, that's a bit too big. Big shot. Okay, what's the best way to do this? Is the best way to just fight? Because I think fighting is faster than pacifying. Because pacifying does 7 mercy every turn, so that's 11, 12, 13, 14. So you have to spare him 15 times before you even finish. Ah! I forgot about big shots. Okay, well, that's something to know. In my experience, I don't really have the best runs with this fight, so this is probably going to be a major choke point for me in the run. Rebuster, because that deals a ton of damage. Here you want to graze a little bit, just like in Snowgrave. Am I going to get a music mod for Big Shot? Probably, maybe. I'll have to choose something that's rather fanatical and cinematic, because I like doing that with big fights like this one. Ah. Damn, now I remember how tedious this actually is. I might use the, what's it? The Room Tone remix. The one that's used in, Deltarune Titans. Right, Root Buster again. So a lot of people say to enrage him here. I don't see how that helps. Yeah, I'm probably going to use Room Tone. Oh yeah, this. Yeah, it does tell you instructions on how to do a big shot if you take too long. Ooh. Final attack. Let's see. It's that simple, man. Yeah, final attack is easy. And why is he at 1% HP? And we can still hit him even when he's dying. Okay, that's rather morbid, actually. You can spam big shots at him in final and he'll skip the rest of final. Ah, fair enough. Shadow Crystal Puppet Scarf. Don't you get another item as well, like the Deal Maker or something? Or is it like something else? No, okay. Right, let's reload that and try again. Deal Maker is pacifist. Oh, okay. Does it actually do anything? Does it actually do anything? Oh yeah, I have to wait for these to come up. They're slowly rising up. I'm gonna go happy knowing that I uploaded the song for once now. Oh, okay, fine. Have a good one, man. Increases money gained from fights. You know, that actually makes sense. Canonically, anyway. Stare at any wall in your room, and teacups will eventually float up. So true. Ah. Three hits. Okay. that's fine. I'm not here to practice teacups. I'm here to practice Spanta Neo. But practicing teacups won't hurt. It's just I prefer to Spanta Neo, because he's much more of a choke point to me than teacups are. You're never gonna look at Space Invaders the same way again. Bruh, Space Invaders is a much easier game when compared to Alfie's Neo. Speaking of which, I'm surprised no one else has actually managed to no-hit hard mode yet. Well, there was one, but then he deleted his channel. At least it's not a long-last standing game that hasn't been no-hitted, like Disbelief. Trash zone. It wasn't even a no-hit. I did only a no-hit and you still hate it. I mean, that's fair. If something feels obnoxious to you in a no-heal, then don't even bother trying for no-hit. Save yourself from insanity. Like, I did a no-heal for Undertale False Reset, Phase 1, and that was enough. Like, if someone manages to no-hit it, well, big deal. Doing the equivalent of playing Subway Surfers. Elite has gone up so much. Used to be 1300 for 10th place, and now it's 2210. Oh wait, no, this is the wrong room. This is the wrong room. See, I'm pulling a rise now. I'm looking at chat and it's making me do the wrong thing. Maybe in the future when I'm much more experienced. I'd say only come back to Alfie's Neo once you can do something harder. Like, before you no-hit Flowey, try no-hit Sans. Now means getting hit at finale by parrots and being distracted by chat. Wait, were you looking at chat in your run thing? Yeah, Techno Night, I've done the first 4 no-hit, but that includes intro. I got hit at the Spear Swing one, because it was just too RNG heavy. Alright. So just remember, as soon as the attack begins, get ready to do a big shot. Oh, here, don't do big shots. Just use little mini shots. It's much easier and you'll not cost you a run if it accidentally hits a bomb. Dun 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 dun. Be a big shot. Be a big shot. Now's your chance. Now's your chance. Now's your chance. Be a big shot. Spamton, thank you. Going to do the dishes, be right back. Okay, Auntie, have fun. Not that you can have fun with doing dishes, of course. Who here genuinely has fun doing the dishes? I don't do dishes because, well, we have a dishwasher. But, I think if I were to wash them up one by one, as long as it's not too much, then, well, I'd have fun with it. I just play music in the background and get it over with. Like, just leave them dirty by the sink. They're not going to wash themselves. Ah, can't tell where I am. Okay, good. Ooh, 16%. Jesus. Oh yeah, that's true, he actually does. Alright, well, that's good. Triple hearts, though, not so much. Yeah, I wondered why there was just like a Super Mario World transition going into Mansion. What does the puppet scarf do? Oh, that deals more damage. Wait, so could you use that on Queen then? What else do you get when you beat him? I wasn't looking. Was it like a frayed bow tie and a puppet scarf? Because a puppet scarf against OP, well, puppet scarf against Queen would be so OP. Do you have to do where wire and all bosses? No. Where wire is not a boss. And I honestly don't really want to include that. So what does he give you apart from a puppet scarf then? I'm confused. You can destroy Queen's toe shield by both acting and fighting. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Shadow Crystal, that's it. I knew there was something that I was missing. Like, this is a secret boss. There's something missing. Right, I'm going to give it one more run, and then I'll come to a verdict. Rise, you lied to me. The teacups aren't coming up any faster. No healing. What do you mean, Techno Knight? What do you mean, no healing? No healing what? The scarf says for those who abandon healing. Oh! Oh, okay. What? Okay, fair enough. You know, let me try that again. Let me try that again. Because there has to be an easier, more optimized way of doing this. Too bad I can't mod in a key to insta-kill myself. Do we have 150 HP? Dude, why do you have 150 HP up to this point? Aborted Snowgrave. Yeah, but in my aborted Snowgrave run, I get up to like 146. I don't go up to 150. Unless you do like extra enemy groups for the extra attack power. Okay, yeah, that's an easier way of doing this. Oh, balls. Wait, that said 5, yet I took 10 damage. Did I get hit by 2 at once? I must have been hit by 2 at once. Because there's no way that 5 equals 10. Not in this universe. You know, I'll give Cups one last go, and if I get hit, I get hit. And if I don't, I don't. Just want to practice this plus spam to Neo. Not going to do any 4-game runs today. I'll save that for another time. Because there's a pretty bit of a busy time coming up, and I don't want to get too attached to this. It's 3 days, including this one, until my grandpa's funeral. And we got people coming over for that, so it might be about a week yet before I try 4 runs of this. Apparently right equals left. Yeah, but the thing I worry about, Neon, is if I move too soon, I'm going to get hit anyway. Even if the, well, what do you call it? The rods, those will hit me anyway, even if they're going into the ground. Turn right to go left. Yeah, sure. I'll turn right, go right, and then get slammed on by a cactus. Yeah, sure. Which raises the question, how does a car feel pain from a cactus? They're made of, like, aluminium or aluminum, for all your foreign audiences. Yeah, I don't understand how a car can feel pain. Unless it's, like, in water or something. In which case, well, they wouldn't even function. Because, and this is the reason why, when a car gets flooded with water, all of the air spaces have to be occupied in order to equalize the water pressure, including inside the engine. And since there's water inside your engine, no oxygen can get in. And if no oxygen can get into your engine, the engine can't burn the fuel. And so, the engine can no longer run. And then with all that pressure inside with it nowhere to go, the engine breaks. There you go. I taught you something that they don't teach you in school. And that is why you should never, ever, 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 ever crash your car into a swimming pool. Well, yeah, but since all that air is built up inside the engine, it has to get out somehow. So it has to either split or explode the engine. So yeah, technically, your engine can explode if there's enough air trapped inside it. It's not like a defense weapon or anything that has like gunpowder inside of it. Why are we talking about cars? Because Rise said, Rise was talking about that line from the Cars movie, and then I said, how do cars feel pain when being slammed on by a cactus? So yeah, that's why we're talking about cars. I assume this is using all chapters equipment, like Devil's Tail and everything. I saw that Ralsei had Raga too, but I didn't see Devil's Tail on Susie or anything. I mean, considering that high damage, it's probable. Yeah, see, this is why you should never do big shots on this attack. Not even there. Plus, it's good for your TP. So big shots on first, no big shots on second. It's like it alternates. You know what, let me graze for a bit here. I think here it's great to graze for TP, because you can do like lots of damage in 2 turns. Yeah, I think for this, I'm just going to graze. And then just Root Buster. Gain some TP from next attack, and then Root Buster again the next turn. Wow, I'm so bad at this. I used to be really good at this section. But now my... Ah! What the hell? Okay, that was really close. 1 frame away from getting hit. Well, maybe not 1 frame, maybe like 2 frames, but still, that was a really close call. I will remember that for when I parked my race car bed beneath the Pacific Ocean. Fair enough. I think here is pre-final. No, it's triple hearts. There's no way to skip triple hearts, is there? And I'm doing it the wrong way. Why am I doing it the wrong way? I'm supposed to be big shot spamming. God damn it, I need to remember that. Wait, since I dealt enough damage, can you actually skip final with this method? Or is it just going to say nope? 13%. Maybe? No. You have to do final anyway. Yeah, 1%. Okay, so note to self. Move a little bit earlier on Teacups, and remember when Triple Hearts comes out. So just have your big shot at the ready for that. Yeah, Puppet Scarf and Shadow Crystal. So, yeah, Mecha Saber, Pink Ribbon. Okay, good. So Susie's all stacked up then. Auto Axe, Iron Shackle, and Devil's Tail. And Rouse has optimal gear as well. Perfect. Right, so after just that half an hour of practice, let me think about this for a second. So, the question I asked earlier was, do I do Chapter 2 all bosses, or do I do all chapters all bosses? The pros of doing all chapters all bosses is that I won't have to worry about doing both of them. Well, both Chapter 2 all bosses and all chapters all bosses. I can get it out of the way much sooner. I won't have to worry about doing this. And it's a much bigger challenge. And plus, in a hypothetical sense, I will get a lot more points for this than if I were to just do Chapter 2 all bosses. The cons are that I have to do Chapter 1 first, and that's incredibly boring due to multiple luck clocks throughout the run, at least for me. The run is nigh 2 hours long. I think it's about just almost as long as Sped Run True Pacifist in Undertale. I'd have to remember this entire section. And overall, from what I thought, all chapters, all bosses wouldn't be that fun. But now that I've tried this, I have a feeling that I can do it. Though, if I'm going to, I will have to take a better approach to this than I did to all chapters main route. I can still do everything that I normally did. It's the entire run again with spam to Neo at the end. Should I spin a wheel, or should I leave it up to a public vote? Or should I just decide myself? Thing is, though, if it wasn't entirely clear at this point, I'm a very indecisive person. So, I cannot really decide for myself whether or not I want to do Chapter 2, or all bosses, or ACAB, I'll say. All chapters, all bosses. Use the wheel. That's the thing, though. I don't want to leave it down to RNG. Got dinner? Be right back. Okay, Rise. Have a good dinner. If you do Chapter 2 all bosses, you'll want to do ACAB anyway, so I do ACAB. See, this is where it gets difficult, right? Because I've listed all the pros and cons. Well, I haven't actually listed all the pros and cons. So, okay, let me start again. Let me put my thinking music in the background this time. let me think about putting this Salty Lily, what the hell? She just posted no-hit Whimsun. Alright, so these are the pros and cons to doing either Chapter 2 or all bosses and all chapters all bosses. So, with just Chapter 2 or all bosses, I won't have to worry about doing Chapter 1. That's that. I can just do Chapter 1 all over again with a Chapter 1 save file and get it done relatively easily. The problem with that, the con, and this is probably the biggest con of the entire thing, is that I'm going to worry about doing all chapters, all bosses. If I do all chapters, all bosses, a big pro for this is that I get more merit for that than if I were to do just Chapter 2 all bosses on its own. And I can do Chapter 1 all bosses just fine. One of the cons, however, is that this run is really long. It'll be much longer than No Hit Neutral. It's close to 2 hours long. Or just a bit over 2 hours long. I don't think I've seen an all chapters, all bosses run in a challenge community that's under 2 hours. So, a lot of preparation would have to be done for all chapters, all bosses. Except I've ran Chapter 1 to death continuously, over and over and over again. Probably killed it several thousand times over. That's the problem I have with doing all chapters, all bosses, is that the run is really long. And if I get all the way here and get hit to a single teacup rod, and I no-hit the rest of it, that's going to be on me. Like, it's not as bad as losing a run to Chase 2, where you get hit at the very end of the room without even knowing. It's... I don't know. I think it's just one of those things where I won't know how bad it is until it happens. It's like an if you know scenario. So, what is my final decision? Do I do Chapter 2 all bosses, or do I do all chapters, all bosses? I think to lessen all the worry and basically cut down on anything that I will potentially feel from this, I'm going to go for all chapters, all bosses. Because I'm gonna have to do Chapter 2 all bosses anyway, and if I do them both in one run, that's going to be more satisfying. That's going to be much more satisfying. And that's going to be worth... how much? Let me look on the UCC point sheet. Again, speaking in a hypothetical sense. So, Chapter 2 all bosses is getting nerfed down to expert tier, which means it'll only be worth 100 points. So the entire run, Chapter 2 all bosses no hit run, I'll get the points for that, 500, plus the 100 for all bosses no-hit run in Chapter 2. That's 600 points altogether. Do you guys want to see how many points I have now? This is how many I have. 9,000. It will make my journey to 10k a lot less shorter. The huge boost I get from that would be enough. Now, sure, it may not be as impressive as Trackabart Peak, but be honest here. I'm not going to sit here and die to Snowgrave 1 billion times before I get to Trackabart Peak, and by then, it would have been nerfed all the way down to beginner tier. I know that's a very long shot, but long story short, I do not want to go through the hell that is Trackabart Peak. I am never, ever going to try that. So if I do all chapters, all bosses, that'll bring me up to 9,600. And if I look at some plans that I've made... So there's a couple more here, actually, that I have planned. I want to try Keep Tail Sans Expert Mode No Heal. That, I think I can easily get relative to the no-hit component. I mean, if I get close to no-hit, then I'll just go for no-hit straight away. But I'm going to settle with no-heal if I get no-heal. And there's another one that I want to do to bring it up to 10,000, and that's Mike's Big Showdown. I know, I've said it before, Final is ass. But just saying that isn't going to make it any easier. That's what I want to do. For the last challenge that I want to do to bring myself up to 10k, not my last challenge overall, don't get those words mixed up. For the last challenge to bring me up to 10,000, I'm going to go for Mike's Big Showdown. So, let's review. This is not the review part of the live stream. Don't worry, that's going to come later. So, all chapters, all bosses, that'll be 600 points. For Keep Tail No Heal, that'll be 100 points. That'll bring me up to 9,700. And then if I do Mike's Big Showdown No Hit, which is a master tier, for some reason, then that'll bring me up to 10,000 flat. So those are the 3 challenge runs that I have planned. And I think I want to get the biggest one out of the way first, which is all chapters, all bosses. However, I will not be attempting this straight away, because there's plenty more practice I have to deal with this to memorize the whole entire section, despite me doing it first try without getting hit, surprisingly. And I'd also have to practice all the other bosses as well, like Spamton, Queen, Jevil, all of those things. So with all of that, I probably won't start all chapters, all bosses until the end of the month. Because don't forget, I have to be busy on Sunday and Monday due to my grandfather's funeral. But after that, I should be in the clear. But it all really depends on what happens throughout the week. I could start it as early as the 25th. But I could not be doing it until August. I don't know yet. There's so many things that have to happen first. So, it'll be settled. I'll be going for all chapters, all bosses. Except, this time, I want to try and take it slow. I don't want to try and pull a all chapters main route trying to get it back mode, where it ends up taking me upwards of nearly a year to get the run back. I want to take it slow. I want to do practice before every attempt. I want to give at least one full run. If I have a full run that makes it all the way more than halfway through, then that'll be the only run I do for that time. Because I do not want to end up streaming for 4 hours again. And so there we have it. That's my plan. Now for the review part of the live stream. Some of you already know that I've been updating Siblings Redemption. What I want to do now is show some things regarding that. Which means that I'm not going to commentate for the rest of the stream. So, for those who don't want any spoilers for Siblings Redemption version 1.2, or if you're just genuinely curious of how it will turn out, but you don't want to see anything before it comes out, please leave now. I'm going to give you a 3-minute window to absorb all that information. Beyond the 49-minute mark, I will not be commentating for the rest of the stream. And I'm not going to be showing off Siblings Redemption for that long either. I'm going to end it after this. Yeah, I've already done half an hour of practice for Deltarune all bosses. You sound like you're reading off a script. Bruh, I've had to say so many things so many times throughout my life, I can just practically act it out as if it's my first time saying it. Like, you think that's good? Wait until you hear me say something in a speech. Anyway, guys, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to decide if you want to be spoiled or not for this game. Just nearly died after spicy ramen. That was so painful. Bro, you had dinner quick. But yeah, Rise, I've decided I am going to try a cab. Miss Ray would rather go... Oh, sorry. Would I rather do Trackabart Peak or Delirium of Eons? No hit. Personally, I would rather do Delirium of Eons, because it's a much shorter run. Right, 1 minute left, guys, before I show you the teaser things for Siblings Redemption 1.4. If you don't want to be spoiled, last warning, if you don't want to be spoiled, please leave now. You got 30 seconds. Yeah, don't worry, Rise. I'm one step ahead of you. I've already planned it out in advance. I think I'm good there. But thanks for the reminder. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bye.